Have you ever wondered what happens when you are done with your sound check and then your system is sounding as good as you want, and then midway into the event when the band is playing at the peak and the people are screaming at the top of their voice, it's beginning to sound like your system is not as loud as it was when you started it, or you can no longer hear the clarity of the box or the clarity of the PA the way it was at the beginning of the event or at the time you did the sound check. Let me give you an illustration of what happened. So sound is transmitted through an elastic medium from the source to your eardrum, right? And the elastic medium is called air, right? The elastic medium will pay attention to the source of higher energy, right? The source of highest energy, right? So let's say you have about 5,000 persons in an auditorium, and then the 5,000 persons, they start screaming at the top of their voice. So there's a tendency that the cumulative XPL of the 5,000 persons will sound way over your box, right? And if you are in an auditorium or a place where you don't have a good enough headroom, what will happen is the molecules that are supposed to transmit the sound from the speaker to the ears of the people are now beginning to pay attention to the loudness of the people screaming, right? And the box is going to sound like it's not there. So I will advise you need to have a system that has about, give and take, about 50% more XPL than what the human volume will be, or the place where you're using the system should have a good enough headroom so that at the point where the molecules at the low level of where the human beings are saturated with paying attention to the screaming of the people, your system is played at a height that the molecules are dormant, and then it plays down. Even this same analogy, I think at some point Jesus Christ did the same thing at some point when he said, climb up to the mountain and then speak to the people from the mountain. At that point, the molecules at the level where he's standing on top of the mountains are quiet, and those ones at the bottom where the people are very busy. So speaking from that point, there's a tendency that your voice can travel further. It's the same reason for why when you do a crusade in the middle of the night, you can hear the sound as far as miles away from where the system is being played, as clean and clear as if the system is placed very few meters away from you. So the energy that is transmitted through an elastic molecules, and they are all dormant. So any small spike can transmit from one location to the other at very high speed, right? It's the same reason for why you can't communicate in a vacuum, or you can't communicate in space, because there are no molecules that can transmit it, right? So with this in mind, when you're setting up in a location where you don't have a good enough headroom, where the system can be driven as much as you want, you can do a distributed system. A distributed system can allow you set speakers that takes care of a certain meter square, right? So a speaker is placed at a height that the speaker takes care of a certain meter square, and it can be distributed across the space, and then you can try as much as you can to be able to align them so that they can sound as one. What that will do is the accumulation of the distributed system will bring up the XPL of the system. Do try this and let me know in the comment section. Follow and like for more tips. Thank you.